Good morning, guys. I'm Sonali. I'm studying MSc from IGNOU, and my course is Food Safety and Quality Management. Today, we will be studying the book MVP 001, the first chapter, that is Food Basics. This chapter basically tells about the introduction, food basics, the basic food needs which we get from plants, animals, and both of them. So, when we talk about the introduction, we are the living beings. We need energy, and energy we get from food. So, there is an association called Food and Agricultural Association of India, and it has recognized 15 food commodities. Nine are of plant origin, the food grains, legumes, horticultural produces, beverages, and 4 are of animal origin, that are meat, offal, milk, eggs, fish, and seafood, and 2 are of both plants and animal origin, the sugars, honey, oil, fats, and food source. How do we get the food source? Uh, Plants, okay, plants get energy from sunlight, and with help of chlorophyll they make food. And in aquatic environment, if we see, phytoplanktons photosynthesize and make food, and they are eaten by further zooplanktons, and zooplanktons are eaten by primary consumers, secondary consumers, and tertiary and quaternary. So in this case, in this diagram, if we see, the dragonfly is eaten by fish, which is in peach fish. Then it is eaten by pike, it is in secondary carnivore in this. And no, he is the tertiary carnivore, and he is the quaternary carnivore, the man. Okay, so when man dies, detrivorous eat them, and his energy again comes back to the soil. So, if we are asked what is food chain, web, or network, it describes the feeding relationship between species in an ecological community. And human food chain is most important. Why it is most important? Because we are the humans who whose food chain begins with activities of agriculture, animal husbandry, and fishing. Okay, and what will happen if we recycle animal waste to herbivores? Like, if we give cow dead parts of cow to a cow, then it will cause a disease in them known as mad cow disease, or bovine spongiform encephalopathy. And if you ask regulations about food safety, there are plenty of laws made by government. And during food trade, okay, there are many non-tariff barriers like sanitary and phytosanitary regulations, and these are related to trade flow. And if you ask me what is WTO, it's World Trade Organization. Now, what is food constituents? Food constituents are carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, minerals, vitamins, and water. So moisture is the bound water in present in any food, and it is an important attribute that affects processing, packaging, preservation, and shelf life of any food commodity. And if you ask what is carbohydrate made up of, it is made up of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. And you should remember that 1 gram of carbohydrate contains 16 kilojoule of energy. And I forgot to tell you that energy can be measured in kilojoule or kilocalorie. Okay, and carbohydrates has monosaccharide, disaccharides, and polysaccharide. So monosaccharides are glucose, disaccharides are lactose, polysaccharides are starch and fibers. Protein is made up of nitrogen and carbon, CO2, H2O, and proteins are polymer of 21 amino acids, and though 10 are essential amino acids for humans. Then lipids are glycerol acids, esters of fatty acids, and they are soluble in organic solvent and insoluble in water. Vitamins are required in small amount. There are two types of vitamin: water soluble and fat soluble. And the water soluble ones are required in urgent, immediately we require them. As we sweat or we urinate, these vitamins get lost. And examples of vitamin water soluble vitamins are vitamin B and C complex. B is B1 thiamine, B2 is riboflavin, B3 is niacin, B6 is pyridoxine, B12 is cobalamin, then biotin, and then folic acid. And if you talk about fat soluble vitamins, it is A, D, E, and K. A is retinol, D is calciferol, E is tocopherol, and K is menadione. Now next is minerals. Minerals are 90 elements are present on earth, and they are also required in trace amounts, and 25 minerals are essential. Minerals like calcium, phosphorus, potassium, sodium are required in large quantity, and minerals like iron, copper, zinc, magnesium required in low quantity. What are the functions of food? If you ask me, food has three kinds of function: physiological function, which can be further divided into energy giving, body building, regulating body processes, and protection, and then social function and psychological function. So what is energy giving? Functions which our body does externally and internally, both require energy. Internally, our body respires, does digestion, excretion, all these are internal, and external are walking, climbing, weightlifting. These are external functions which require energy, and it is provided by food. And if you talk about bodybuilding, a baby grows into a big human being. All this is an criteria of growth, and it happens due to food. And regulating body processes is respiration, digestion, absorption. All this require um, food. And trypsin, renin, pepsin, these are all enzymes made up of proteins. And body protection can also be a helpful criteria of foods function, as they are providing immunity to us, so they can be called protective proteins. Then psychological functions: when we eat pakoras or fish or maggie, anything which is our favorite, it provides us joy, pleasure, and if we are not provided it, we feel aggressive. These are psychological function of food. And after psychological, we have social function. Social function is we are a social being. We love exchanging food with our neighbors and parties, functions. It's a sentiment of, it indicates the sentiments of togetherness. Like sacred food are, everyone have their food laws. Like Muslims only eat halal kind of chicken, and Judaism is an religion which follows strict rules called kashrut. And there is vegetarianism, vegan, all these terms. Now what is food as a source of nutrition, right? Carbohydrate includes fiber, protein, fats, vitamins, minerals. So what are carbohydrates? They produce energy. They are broken down into glucose and stored as glycogen in our body. Fibers are non-digestible. They provide bulk. And proteins help us in growth, development, repair, produce enzymes, produce hormones. Fats insulate the body, produce sex hormones. Cholesterol absorb vitamins A, D, E, and K. And you know what? Our brain is made up of 40% of fats. Vitamins are required for sound health. Now, what is cuisine? Cuisine requires specific set of cooking traditions and practices. In India, we have South Indian, North Indian, West Indian, and East Indian cuisines. I'm from South, so I told it in first. Now, if we talk about consumption trends in India, consumerism, it is a term which means that eating away from home. It's an urban trend. Now we love eating fast food, eating momos, eating chaat, and all this is part of consumerism. McDonald's, KFC, all these are helping to get us obese. Now if you talk about food industry, it can be divided into four major segments: agricultural production, manufacturing processes, distribution, and marketing. So what is production? Production is basically agricultural production, which includes farming, ranching, orchard management, fishing. And what is manufacturing? It is conversion of raw agricultural product to refined and finished products. Distribution is product sales, product form, transportation. Marketing is selling of foods in wholesale and retail. What are allied industries? They indirectly are helpful to food industries. Like they can be providing us food can, food color, flavors, paper products. And there are some monitoring and regulating agencies like PFA, ECMARC, BIS, APIDA, FPO, Food Drug Administration. You should know full forms of this. Now, what is value addition? Value addition is basically helping in increasing the shelf life. Okay, in market we see chopped veggies and they are packed neatly. All these are value addition. Now, what is new food processing policy? Actually, this policy has vision to motivate farmers and food processors to provide interactive coupling. Basically, we are doing coupling between agricultural production and using technology, economy, environment, society for developing a base. Okay, where we will do value addition to agro products for domestic and export market, and we will have emphasis on food safety and quality and with benefits of technology. It is the new food processing policy. What is food trade? We are providing enough food for domestic and export market. So when we have enough, we have to trade it outside for extended benefits. Okay, and in India we have for domestic market, we people with low income groups, okay, they get food products at subsidized prices through PDS, the one where we use our ration card. Okay, and ASEAN is Association of Southeast Asian Nations. Okay, what is CART? It is a general agreement to trade and tariff. Okay, NAFED is National Agricultural Cooperative Marketing Federation of India. Now, some important full forms are necessary. What is phytochemical? They are active derivatives extracted from plants and they have pharmacological and physiological effects. Now, if you ask what is national food processing, I forgot to tell you about new food product. New food product development is we are forcing the future requirements, like we are identifying the needs of buyer and giving and designing something which they will need. Okay, and if you ask what is post harvest value addition, then we are adding something to the agricultural producers which increases the quality increase कर रही है and shelf life and safety. Okay, now if you ask what is functional food, it is basically fortified, it may be modified by genetic engineering techniques. And what is nutraceutical? It is a combination of nutrition and pharmaceutical. Okay, done for today.